30 seconds to battle. The battle begins.
The soldier's fortune.
You suck at this.
Alright. I definitely clicked it. Alright, it's here there.
Things are cool
hello,
now.
Dota TV.
Hello, Dota TV. That's the one thing chat is super useful for. When they tell us about
true.
Dota TV stuff.
Especially at LAN events when there's no delay.
Yeah.
Yeah. Yeah, good time. Alright, so I'm thinking the Night Stalker, Darkseer win their lane. Right? They might not get any kills, but they'll certainly put a lot of pressure and get a lot of farm. The mid lane matchup, Puck versus Templar Assassin, this is probably the one of the more intricate mid matchups, right?
This is a matchup I really like talking about and watching because on paper, TA should win pretty handily, but there are things Puck can do. Like, you notice early on, Sumail doesn't even get the phase shift, and he's pushing with the creep wave. TA, what she's really bad about, is playing against this double wave. When you push up 2 or 3 waves against her, what can she do? She can't CS. You're not going to trade hits under this at all, because you're going to get hit by 6 creeps at once. So it's entirely on the TA to kind of push things back.
Right.
But you can't, because Puck has Orb, and naturally he can get in there and right-click without taking any sort of damage. So you break that refraction early on, get aggressive, and you can do a whole lot. You notice that Sumail, he just keeps dragging the wave forward, and this is not easy for G to CS. Can't really deny him either.
Yeah, if it wasn't for the help there of Aloha Dance, who pulled the next incoming creep wave in, that could have been a lot of damage on the tier 1 tower and could have been a lot of CS lost for the Templar Assassin. So it's going to be Fear in the bottom lane instead with Bulba, since didn't really seem like he was going to be able to do much there in the top lane, so I like this rotation by him against Yoku, Slardar, and No Fear's Oracle, which we know is a hero that can be pretty easily abused by aggro lanes. As long as you don't leave a solo offlaner that's pretty defensive, you should be able to punish the Oracle. So I'm thinking this EG lane should go well for them.
1v1, Oracle does quite well against offlaners, but against a bunch of different heroes, not necessarily the best. Aloha Dance is just going to get pinged on. No Fear can't really help out just because, well, he has no HP and no regen left over, and Aloha Dance is going to take a lot of this damage.
In fact, they have another stomp, but not going to pop for it now. Goes for it, but Yoku already managed to get the kill with the help of No Fear. No Fear claims it. Fear, he's just going to go for No Fear, trying to take out his rival, but no, they're not going to be able to get it. Oh, they're run away. Alright, the Spirit! Oh, the Spirit's coming! Run! Run, No Fear!
He's good.
He's got Fairy Fire?
Yeah, he's good.
Alright, Fairy Fire it is. Axes? Oh! He gets it! Oh, Bulba and Fear.
Pride of NA himself. Sam Sasale.
They give away the first blood. They can't claim a kill in return.
Downtown, man. That was not even that hype, but
it was funny.
It was pretty funny.
So what? I mean, with that, they got the first blood. It still seems like EG is going to win 2 of their lanes.
I think this Puck lane is going to be A for now. Once you get some levels of refraction, then it becomes progressively harder, but notice what Sumail's doing at all times, right? Whenever the creep wave pushes in, he always takes that time to go for pot shots. The mid lane is, it's like there's an ebb and a flow. Whenever you start to have the creep advantage, you want to push forward at that time because you know no matter what happens, the enemy mid can't trade hits with you.
Right. When
you start to lose creep advantage, that means you have to run earlier than you necessarily think, especially when you're shorter on range. That means you just have to pull back a little bit sooner than the enemy mid. And this is kind of the ebb and flow of the lane. Sumail right now is going to drag the creep to his range creeps, make it easier to go for denies and stuff like that on the range, make it easier to CS, harder for G to deny and stuff like that. Just cool plays.
That's something as like a small mechanic as a mid laner that was probably used sometimes, right? But now in this patch, with the range creeps being so experienced important for both of these solo heroes, it becomes even more so a priority, right? Trying to drag the creep
bottom
back.
milk here. He's taking a lot of damage.
Trying
That was
to
a really
dive
nice
in.
purge.
Gonna be good enough though.
Yeah, casted it on himself, and they were both melee, obviously, so they all got hit by it. But yeah, the mid lane has changed considerably just because heroes like Puck are really good now. If you orb once, you hit the range creep once beforehand, you're always going to get one of those at least. TA, of course, is not guaranteed that. She also has to cop a few hits whenever she wants to walk forward. So that's why you see Sumail in a good spot. But he is outplaying him. Every single time when he pushes the lane out forward, he's doing a really good job of making sure that he follows through with harass.
It seems like it's probably been a while since G's played this matchup. Seems like Sumail does have the better read on it so far. Goes at an orb. Again, getting more of those pod shots. Even now, burning through the next round of a refraction. Very nice and early.
This is pretty cool though. He's going to go for the double null talisman. Most likely going to go for the veil early on. Pump up that damage early, but of course there is no fear playing once he's got the Fate's Edict in a bottom.
Elder Titan ends up going down as Loha Dance comes online with the nighttime.
That was
Seems like that aggro dual lane wasn't quite the success that they really wanted it to be because Loha Dance had to rotate mid and then came bottom at some point.
Yeah. This is even though VP is leading in kills, it's okay for EG just because you rotated all three heroes to stay down there, and the Night Stalker isn't getting as efficient as he wants to be. He hasn't been able to jungle. He hasn't been able to help out the other two lanes this nighttime. For the most part, you've already lost 2 minutes of it, so it's been okay for them. But I do like the fact that VP are abusing the right lanes, going top. You realize early on that's a Juggernaut. That's one of the worst lanes to go for the duels on because the kill potential is often just not there.
Right.
Because of the defensive spin. I mean, you've done it before, right? Whenever I used to pick you the NS Bat Rider and you'd be against a Juggernaut, which is like, okay, what do we do?
Yeah, you can only really put pressure at like level 1, level 2, and then invariably it just becomes too difficult.
They do know that Sumail's here through this ward, and I think Sumail, he's going to game sense it pretty early on, say, okay, something to be gained here.
Don't want to waste too much time.
Yeah, it's super obvious when Yoku runs all the way down.
Yeah.
And he disappears out of sight. Nobody just
when
does
the
that.
creep wave's pushing forward like this, yeah.
And now he pops out, and then that'll 100% tell them that there's wards there.
And his rotation was about the time that usually the wards would expire, right? That's why he's...
Bulba?
Bulba is going to be jumped on here. There is going to be a stomp to interrupt all of that as they get the 3-hero stomp. And now they're actually going to try and body block and go for a TP in as Sumail comes in with his double damage and is able to help clean up one, but only one.
And that's still a rotation of they use Dream Coil on, which means it's going to be stronger for VP, but VP kind of messed up there. It's not all of them should have been hit by one of those Echo Stops.
Yeah, for sure.
Oh, PPD even getting the deny mid.
Oh, did he get the range creep?
Yeah, that's so valuable as a support. You got like 63 damage and you're trying to last hit against a TA. It's got like 160. No way. But he gets it anyways.
AUI still doing quite well for himself. Phase boots. PMS, 600 gold. FNG does have his soul rings, so more room for him to spam out. I actually did block out the Ancient stack, which he is obviously relying on kind of more heavily than you used to as a Templar Assassin, just because of the way the mid lane went.
Yeah, you need to farm out more than the enemy mid does, because having even CS against the Puck as TA or whatever doesn't really matter, because you just need more farm. Like, the Puck can accomplish a lot more with a Veil and a Blink Dagger than you can with even your upgraded boots plus a side item. The drums, Yasha, whatever you decide to go for, Blink.
The timing for VP fighting is definitely a lot later than EG, right? EG are able to come online pretty quickly with level 6 on Beastmaster and Puck. They're going to go for those early engagements, those early pickoffs, and it's only going to be later on to the game when we have like Mech and Mech on the Darkseer and maybe that first damage item for the Templar Assassin that the game kind of evens out a bit more for VP.
I think the way that I look at this is EG is more level reliant and VP is more item reliant,
right?
With their timings, and whenever a team is more level reliant, it's going to be easier to execute your strategy. Like, you just hit 7, get a few ultis going, and you're good. Whereas VP, they need minimum of a few items to be able to do anything.
This is the bit of the danger. They are still going to be able to go for the roar onto Yoku. No Fear provides them a little bit of safety, but two-man stomp again here from Bulba. They're going to be able to blow up No Fear, taking the healer out of the game. Yoku is still quite healthy and now has an Ion Shell on him, so Evil Geniuses will just quickly retreat. That was still full smoke rotation from both AUI and PPD, and it doesn't look like they're going to gain much from it. They got the one kill on the support, but doesn't look like they're going to be able to easily take this tier 1, as VP have also rotated Aloha Dance in.
Yeah, and they know for a fact, because the puck is still mid, they can go for this play. There's nobody farming top, which is a little bit of lost efficiency, and I think EG hoped that they would be able to get 2 kills so that they could immediately transition into the tower kill. At the same time, they opened up some space, and they made things a little bit easier.
That's part of the strength of Darkseer as an offlaner, more so than almost any other one, right? Is that because he constantly pushes out the lane, it becomes almost painfully obvious when the carry and support are missing like that.
Yeah, AUI at bottom gets a TP out. Nothing that can stop that, and unfortunately for VP, they're largely going to get shut up as the Veil hits the boat.
And oh dear, that's going to be cold.
Okay, that's creep.
Yep, that Veil actually plays against them almost, as the Satyr Tormentor able to do a little bit more damage than he used to with that Shockwave. Takes one of those kills, but still they got the Darkseer. They got some sort of initiation, and they might finally be able to take control of this tier 1. Doesn't look like VP going to be put any more into it, right? It's nice to be able to posture and defend and draw out the life of that tier 1 safe lane tower on Radiant's side, but ultimately you're going to have to give it up eventually, and you're going to see what VP are going to do in response here. They're actually going to try and play aggressive into the Dire safe lane, but can't quite catch Fear.
What's funny about that is, if he hadn't veiled him, he would have survived, right? Because how much does the Satyr blast you? 100? Magic?
125 or something.
Oh, actually he would have had to kill because he had 81 HP no matter what. I lied.
Pretty fast Necrobook for Bulba.
Yeah, the timing of this is okay, but you really would like to get that bottom tower and then that mid tower right after. Being able to take control of this area on the Dire side when you're Dire against the Radiant is really good. And when you take out this tower and this tower, sorry if these are really annoying, but then you own this real estate. Like, you effectively own more than half the map. And that's essentially what Dota is nowadays. You just want to own more than half the map. So you can raid these 3 big camps, and Radiant can't really contest into that because there's too many positions for Dire to place wards.
And there's even more strength, right, to carries that are able to abuse that, right? Juggernaut can play really far forward now in that bottom lane, keeping it forward and keeping the jungle pretty much under his grasp, but without much danger because he's got the spin TP out.
Yeah, if you just look at the composition of the Dire jungle too, it's hard to get that aggressive into it, but EG, they're going to run into No Fear here, probably even get Yoku if they want to, as Sumail's picking him out, says, I'm going to Dream Coil.
Dream Coil locks him in. Yoku is going to be roared up, and not a chance in the world to be able to get away from that.
FNG,
that's for sure. Aloha Dance has to put a stop to that Beans Grip, but damage is already done. FNG, his retreat has been stalled long enough for the stomp, and now the follow-up damage from Sumail to clean him up. Evil Geniuses quickly coming online now, as they, I thought VP were doing a pretty good job. Like, the bottom read, right, they weren't really losing too much to the rotations of EG, giving away a support here or there, not that big of a deal, but that final rotation by EG, 3-manning behind the tier 1 tower, and getting that many kills and claiming the mid-tier 1, gets that objective you were talking about, right, which is claiming taking utter control of the Radiant jungle.
Yeah, because now you have options. With Beastmaster, Hawk, you can just own that side of the map, and it's very hard to gank that area. Fear might actually die here. He's getting pretty low. He has that stomp available, but gonna get silenced up, and his TP time is long run out.
He should be dead already. It's a funny thing that his infused raindrop is actually keeping him pretty healthy there for a while, but ultimately he does go down, buys out before that happens, so VP still going to try and roll on into the Dire jungle, but Bulba knows it's coming.
Yeah. This, so far, when you look at the lineups, just VP's lineup was ill-equipped to deal with EGs, and Fear has been really on point with the stomps too. So when they went for that mid-rotation VP, you almost never want to give up that tower for free, but they weren't set up as 5. And if you're going to defend like that when the enemy smokes around and comes around at you from a pincer angle, then you have to have everybody there ready to fight. Then you can fight around the fact that you have better vision because you're fighting between 2 towers, but EG kind of just exploit the fact that VP weren't altogether set up and weren't ready. But that mid-rotation is very obvious after they take that bottom tower, because it gives you so much more space to work with in the game.
Right. Doesn't help either that they lost probably the most valuable hero, right, to take out when it comes to the amount of damage you have to input and what you kind of save. Oracle is always going to be that hero that you want to pop real quickly and try and prevent the false promise from coming out.
You see bottom now, what they're doing, they're just owning that jungle. And this is the exact map that I drew that No Fear draws. Because he knows this is what Dota is. It's a lot more standardized nowadays to make this kind of play where you own the jungle. And look at VP's side now. They're huddled up. Because of this entrance 2 cap, the one over here, it's harder for you to farm this camp as it used to be. When it used to be, you could just farm like these 2 areas really safely. Yeah. But now you've got your entire jungle denied. Fear can just keep mopping up this top lane whenever the Ion Shot comes in, and this allows EG to get set up at bottom. Notice now, they collapse on this area. No chance that VP defends, because there's too many angles. There's a ward right here that'll spot them coming up. They can't pull in from bottom, because you're just going to funnel people in against a puck GT, right? Potentially. So this is why what's happening at bottom works. Because now, okay, they're going to come in, they're going to funnel, but they've got the Blink Dagger on the Slaughter, but if they go for this play, it has to be a winning one.
Oh no, and they've already missed out, and now the Primal Roar comes out. They turn it around now with No Fear, managing to stop that Primal Roar stun. Sumail jumps in pretty deep here, and he's going to be immediately turned around on by VP, but the damage comes out from the Elder Titan. Now the Fiend's Grip as well. VP controlling this until Yoku hits the really good stop, but they're all so low. It's going to be cleanup time. Sumail claims one, AUI gets the other, both dominating at this point in time, and VP do end up losing 3 just as you predicted. Straight through the funnel, and the Puck and Elder Titan punish VP heavily for it.
It's really hard to fight in that area, and they almost could have done it, but their Slaughter missed the stun. Sumail didn't die in that fight. He went in super YOLO right behind everybody, enemy lines, had less than 30 HP at one point, was amped up, and he still doesn't die. I think if Yoku hits that stun, there's a chance, because that was the first reveal of their Blink Deck, so EG had no idea that he was coming in. It's a lot more standardized for Slaughters nowadays, go for armlet, stuff like that, but he comes in with the Blink. One hero phase shift dodges with the other, goes to the spin. You're hard committed. Now you're using your Oracle ultimate to play defensively. Already lost the fight whenever that happens, because you're delaying the inevitable. And EG have so many different ways to gap close that you're going to lose minimum 2-3 heroes there. So now that they've revealed that, they still lose their bottom tower. They lose the fight. They don't get any sort of kills. You just kind of fall further behind.
I'm curious, what do you think if they didn't have that Blink Dagger, say they went for a more standard armlet build on Slardar, and they didn't have the opportunity to contest something like that, what does VP do when they see that EG push on tier 2? Do they go mid? Do they go try and go top lane? Take tier 1, just inefficient trades, but it's the only trade you can get?
Maybe, I think by committing for the Blink Dagger on the Slardar first, you could just go for that play. Yeah. And it's okay. Because then if you win that fight, even inefficiently, 2 for 3 or something like that, you're okay with it if you can save that tower. But timing of that is weird, and ultimately Yoku messed up the stun, so Vernon is a little bit on him, but at the same time, like, that fight was going to be hard no matter what. EG had full vision down. They have a lot of different AoE to work with. Everybody on their team hit their spells. Next objective is probably Roshan, because the enemy team doesn't have any wards established on this side of the map, and if VP try to contest this Roshan and the fight fails, I think the game just ends. Like, you don't even have mech on Darks here. This is going to be a rough one. I think they have to do this, and in a lot of ways I think they're correct, but it's not going to be easy just because of how many items down they are.
Yeah, it's going to be a tough fight, but one that VIRTUS.PRO have to take. They have the opportunity to jump side the pit. They do get the 2-man stun, leading things off, and Roshan isn't dead just yet. They're going to go for PvP, but still, the lock in down the stroke. It's going to be cleaned up too, and they take them out. Now Aloha Dance going to be cleaned up inside the coil, and G is left with no refraction, no mana, and no life. As he ends up going down, all that's left is Yoku, healthy, but certainly not happy, as he's going to watch Evil Geniuses take that Roshan, and now they may even still get Yoku as he gets a little bit too close to the pit, just hoping to do, I don't know, something, anything.
Oh my lord, Fear.
Yeah.
He catches the entire, I don't know if you saw it, but he catches the entire backline with the Spirit Stomp in perfect position. Then Sumail's there with the follow-up with the Veil. He's got the Spirit on top of him. Yeah. Then he Veils them. He hits all through with everything. That's 2 levels of the Aura. They just get crushed in that fight. That was Fears. That was a godly fight. But you had to take that in some ways for VP. What is that concept that I always say? You play to win. You don't just play to not lose. That's not a terrible fight.
Because if you don't take that fight, right, Evil Geniuses get an Aegis. They use that to be able to get more map control tier 2, and they just build an advantage. They're just going to grow what they already have.
In that situation, it's one of those the rich get richer, where they get map control, like you said. You have a Beastmaster. You're not gonna regain much. They have a lot of ganking potential, because even the cooldowns for them is somewhat reasonable. Aloha Dance is probably going to go down mid.
Yeah, easy. Dragon.
He was going to get a Yule Scepter. Then they win that fight. He's like, nah.
Do I really have to worry about the silence of Night Stalker? No.
He's like,
I'll just blow him
come
up.
on, guys. You know me.
I got the style on it.
It's the kid, man.
Well, VIRTUS.PRO left with very little options at this point as it's 4 to 15, 19 minutes in. We have over a 10,000 gold lead for Evil Geniuses. VIRTUS.PRO playing a lot more safe and conservative, just trying to find certain openings. G's probably going to go down. Not entirely sure why, but gets caught inside that jungle.
He must have hit one of the... Okay, we're good. Nice. Aren't you glad that I... Yeah. So I guess some hotkey must have been pressed or something, or some weird random order, but nothing really happened, guys, during that time, aside from a really cool TA kill that you missed out on because of Cap.
Yeah, it was really exciting stuff.
It was one of the coolest things I've ever seen.
Yeah. Ran into the hero, hit the R button, pop Necro Book.
Hey, you could say that about any. I hate when I talk to people.
I hit the R button.
When we were casting with Arteezy, he's just like, "Oh yeah, Spectre Great Hero, you hit the R button,
reveal everyone."
Yeah, it's like, come on, you can say that about anybody. It's like, oh Puck, you hit the R button, you coil 3 people, great skill. Like, it's all button pressing anyways. Don't belittle the heroes.
Oh come on, there's some heroes that definitely deserve belittling.
Okay. What? Who are you?
Viper? Come on.
Okay.
Yeah. Yeah, you can
Viper
agree
takes
with me
a lot
on
of
that.
skill, man. To gotta decide whether or not you're gonna auto cast your orb.
You auto win most mid matchups. You hit the R button every once in a while. About all. So Moo's Viper was insane. You see how farms he got?
Yeah, I think I casted that game.
Yeah, I think it was me and you. That was just so insane.
There's no way that you should be leading a network that's a Viper when you don't have a Midas or anything like that, but in this game, it's been pretty standard so far. EG have done such a good job of getting map control. This is a very disciplined team. PPD 0, 1, and 5 farmed for what we normally see out of the 5-position Banes. ET already has a Yule Scepter, hasn't even had to go for Soul Ring just because of how well he's been doing. Bulba's got Necro 3 and enough money for the Blink Dagger if he wants it. Items are just kind of pouring in, and on the flip side of things, VP largely stuck in their base. They have some frontline items, but their 2 supports are desperately poor right now, and they're going to go for this smoke. This might be one of the last opportunities they have to get themselves back into the game, though.
Figured out in my head, guys, it was when I hit the net worth graph. So I can't show you that anymore, so just add up the numbers in your head, do the math yourself. Sumail is going to get by the silence. Don't have the Yule Scepter. Does have an Aegis, though. He's going to come across, but Blitz 3 already managed to disengage, except for FNG, who did get Diffuser bladed up and is going to die, and no fear. Almost getting silenced, but Sumail's got it in the end, so it's all good. 2 down, make it a 3rd perhaps, as G's going to be caught by the coil. Breaks immediately, just hoping to be able to escape, but again, the Diffuser comes in, slowing G down to a halt. Yoku comes in and gets a nice 2-man stun, but it doesn't really put a stop to AEY, who is the Juggernaut after all. Can't really stop him. 4 down, Evil Geniuses inside of the VP base. Gonna go for a lane Brax.
So well done by EG in this game. They get complete map control, they play the individual fights beautifully. The Roshan fight was there for the taking. PPD breaks the smoke when they come in, which enables the Elder Titan to make his move. And I guess we gave most of the credit to Fear and Sumail in that fight, but PPD being right outside positioning where he wasn't going to get caught out and he could spot the smoke coming in, which allowed them to take that fight. It was really well done. This is definitely one of those team wins.
Absolutely. Seems like 2 lanes of Brax is inevitable. It's VIRTUS.PRO still unable to fight with G down for 15 seconds, and now they're actually getting caught here. No fear, forced to blow the ultimate. A 4-man vacuum sounds nice, but there's absolutely no follow-up. It doesn't mean anything. Sumail comes in, silence, pops all the news. FNG on the sliver of HP is able to get back and gives the Ion Shell over to Yoku, who's able to run in and help pop PPD. They're going to look for more, and they really have to get as much as they possibly can out of this fight. They're so dramatically far behind that any kill is going to be a massive gold swing in their favor. Fear looks like he is going to be the one and only who gets caught in this. What did he drop?
I think he dropped his blonde? Or his drops? I don't know.
All right.
Something not his Yule, I think.
Yeah.
I think that's the only item he wouldn't drop, but gotta go for the plays. 6 to 20. Even with those 2 kills, 1,700 gold swing just for the 2 supports.
Is item dropping becoming more and more of a thing between pros?
Hey, if you want to tilt somebody, I'm all in. Put it the game.
Fear. So what you're saying right now is Fear's going. Like, why haven't you left the game yet?
That's the.
Let's get out.
Yeah, that's the. It might have just been a misclick, but for me, I would have done it just to be like, yeah, this game's over. Let's reset, go to game 2, because EG are in such a commanding position right now. I doubt that's what it was, but it's just fun to talk about.
Yeah, not a single member of VIRTUS.PRO above 10k. G is slowly but surely getting there, but he really needs his BKB in order to fight through all of this.
Yeah.
And the problem that we have is that VIRTUS.PRO don't even have better late game necessarily, right? It's got a Templar Assassin carry, but inevitably heroes like Slardar are going to fall off his cores.
So is TA for the most part. This hero is not reliable because in the early game, Refraction is obviously very strong, but as the game goes later and later, Refraction starts to lose that reliableness where you can usually go in, pop some cells. Nowadays, you get right click because everyone's attack speed is so high now. You've got a jug that hits pretty hard. You're going to go down quite quickly without a BKB.
If anything, heroes like EG are only going to get stronger over time. Hawk loses a little bit of late game power, but I'm sure.
No man, if he gets a dig on 5, I'm sure he's going to be really strong.
I was also thinking of the Ags, right? Yeah. Ags against these melee or melee-ish cores, VP, that also will destroy them even if they have the BKB. And there's heroes like Elder Titan who only get better. So you will always welcome this 100% armor reduction.
Did both teams smoke up yet? They're going to come from behind, and I think they should actually make the full rotation over. Just pinging around. EG look like they're ready for this fight, and can't imagine this fight going very well, but you've got to take this as Bulba's going to break the smoke. Even going to TP forward.
Sumail with 3 silence, 2-man coil to lead things off. He's going to jump to the other side. AUI comes in, pops the zombie slash. The Earth Splitter is in good position too. VP going to be snapped back a couple times there. The vacuum comes in, but it looks like it's not going to be enough as AUI is just able to cleave through everything on the side of VIRTUS.PRO, leaving again Yoku for dessert here. Gonna try and sprint his way out of this one. Armlet toggling all the way through, but Sumail, he's got the nukes eventually. Dagon is coming up. 1 more second. All he needs is the vision. Doesn't quite get it. Yoku flings himself away, but while we're following this high-speed chase, Evil Genius is taking everything. Oh no, he get him! Oh!
That was so weird, yeah. He died inside the fountain. Gave him the zap.
No, but even if Yoku somehow manages to survive, doesn't change the fact that the rest of you evil geniuses were playing objective-based Dota.
We gotta get something out of this fight. They fought back after their racks went down, meaning you don't even gain anything from or save anything.
AUI passing over a quick diffuse onto Bulba, which might give him the opportunity to juke all this, or maybe turn things around. Bulba doesn't have Primal Roar just yet, but AUI is going to start going onto Yoku, stopping that magic damage. Bulba now pops out, but immediately gets stunned up, and maybe he shouldn't have popped out at all as he immediately goes down. AUI still continues by this one out. The healing work goes down, but oh, the combination of AoE from Evil Geniuses again manages to blow up anybody from VP in that path. Yoku is the only one surviving, but FNG has already called it. VIRTUS.PRO will lose game number 1 to Evil Geniuses.
Yep, tidy sideline for both the Juggernaut and the Puck as they go clean without any deaths in this game, combined for 23 kills. Very good effort by EG. VP on the other side, they look shell-shocked from the get-go. This was not maybe it is the VP we've come to expect at this rate.